presents the Screen Guild Players. The Lady Esther Screen Guild play tonight, Weekend for Three. The starring players...
This is Dennis O'Keefe.
This is Lynn Barry.
And this is Harry Von Zell.
Tonight, Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild Players in RKO's dizzy comedy, Weekend for Three. It stars Lynn Barry as the wife, Dennis O'Keefe as the husband, and Harry Von Zell as the man who came for a couple of dinners. The Lady Esther Screen Guild Players in Weekend for Three.
That weekend started like any other weekend, late on a Saturday afternoon. As I came in the door, Junior greeted me as usual. But then things began to happen, fast. First, on the little table in the hall, a man's fedora. And in the living room, a pipe. And in the dining room, the table set for three. And as I walked into the kitchen to ask my wife what was going...
Jim Craig, you old snake in the grass. Imagine seeing you here.
Huh?
How the devil are you?
Pretty well, thanks. How are you?
Fine, Jimbo, fine.
Jimbo?
Yeah, and I'll be even better after I shake up a couple of these. Need a little more ice.
Look, I don't mean to intrude, Mr.
Good evening, Mr. Craig.
Oh, good evening, Anna. Good evening. Anna, have you met Mr.
Yes, sir, I have.
Sure. Annie and I are old friends already, aren't we, Annie?
Yes, sir, we are.
Sure. I said to Annie the minute I got here, I'll be in and out of this kitchen all the time. We'll be seeing a lot of each other. Didn't I, Annie?
Yes, sir, you did.
Yeah. I guess you're kind of surprised to see me, aren't you, Jimbo?
Yes. I think surprised is the word.
Yeah, I knew you would be, Jimbo. I knew you would be. Yeah, there I was flying out to L.A., and what do you think the plane did?
A crash?
No.
Oh.
No, she stopped right at good old Cleveland. Right away I said to myself, here I am, just 8 miles from Oldfield, and if I don't drop in on the Craigs, Gretch will never forgive me. Old Gretch. I said to Gretch the minute I got here...
Look, I don't want to seem rude, but who is Gretch?
I forgot you call her Ellen.
You mean my wife? Her name is Ellen.
Oh, not to our crowd, old boy. I don't know. Somehow, she never seemed like an Ellen.
Oh, is that so? Well, she seems like an Ellen to me. And if you don't mind, I think I'll go see what's become of her.
Oh, sure, go right ahead, Jimbo. Make yourself at home.
Oh, thanks. You're sure that you're quite comfortable?
Oh, sure. I feel as if I'd been here for years.
So do I. Ellen.
Oh, hello, Jim.
Ellen, who is that goon downstairs?
Randy Bloodworth. You know him, Jim.
I've never seen him before in my life.
Oh, of course you have. Last winter in the Rainbow Room in New York, the night you were so tired.
Oh, well, that night doesn't count.
You didn't like him at first, but you asked him to have a drink anyway. And then you had another, and then some more, and then you said he was the finest man you'd ever met.
Did I say that?
Don't you remember?
If that's a question, the answer is vaguely. Sort of an old beau of yours, wasn't he?
Oh, well, we used to dance a lot and play golf and swim. It was never very serious.
Yeah, sure. I understand. Oh, Ellen, these flowers. From him?
Aren't they lovely?
They're beautiful.
Darling, you'd better hurry and dress. I've laid your tuxedo out for you.
My tuxedo?
Yes, we're going to the Oldfield Inn after dinner.
What for?
Well, after all, we've got to be nice to Randy.
Why?
Well, there is such a thing as hospitality.
That much is true, I suppose. He is a guest. After all, why shouldn't a friend of yours drop in for the evening?
The evening?
I just said that. Quit stealing my dialogue.
But, Jim, dear, you don't understand. Randy isn't here for the evening.
Oh, swell.
No, you see, I invited him for the weekend.
Oh,
hello, Jim. You alone?
yes, I'm standing this one out, Fred. Oh, bartender, he'll take the sand.
Yeah, thanks. You know, Jim, I've been watching Ellen dance.
Yeah, so have I all evening.
I didn't realize she was so good. That the house guest she's dancing with?
Yes, that's Laughing Boy.
You known him long?
Seems so.
Funny thing, we had a house guest once when I was married to my first wife. Or maybe it was my third. Anyway, it broke up the marriage.
Oh, Fred. You won't be happy till you turn every married man in town back into a bachelor.
Every married man ought to be a bachelor. Marriage is strictly for women. Well, there it is. Home, sweet home.
Yeah, I thought they'd forgotten how to play it. Say, I'd better get back to the table. See you Monday, Fred. Good night.
Good night, Jim.
Well, hello there, Jimbo. Say, where were you during our floor show?
I was watching from the bleachers.
She means the bar. And how is dear Fred? Sober as a drum?
Fred is fine.
Fred is wonderful. Who is he?
Fred just...
That's pretty good, wasn't
He
it?
just happened to inherit Stonebreaker's Fairloom carpets.
That's called starting at the bottom.
Now, Ellen, we do a lot of business together.
I know. You, Fred, and the bartender.
Oh, now wait a minute, you two. We're wasting time.
Oh, that's right. We could be halfway home.
Home? Oh,
Yeah,
no, Jimbo, not yet. Why, the evening's just a pub.
Yeah, but the music's over for tonight. You see, they don't...
Yeah, that's what you think.
They don't...
You see what I mean?
Say, why should they be playing anymore? They
Well,
always
guess
stop
who
it.
just slipped them an extra $10?
Oh! That laugh was what got me. I heard it in my dreams. Anyway, what time I had left for dreams. And if that needs any explanation, it's...
Now, I know just the thing, Gretch. Spaghetti a la Bloodworth, and it only takes an hour.
That was 2:30 at night.
Come on, you lazy birds. Get up. We're going out and play some golf.
And that was at 7 in the morning. And that was only the beginning, too. A round of golf, 2 sets of tennis, dinner at a smart cafe in Cleveland, with dancing, of course, a round of nightclubs afterwards, and then home. Home, and that hyena was still wound up.
Now, Jimbo, listen, you can't go to bed without food. I'm going to fix you some crepe Suzette a la Bloodworth.
There was only one thing pulled me through all that. I kept saying to myself, he'll be gone by Monday. He'll be gone by Monday. And by Monday morning, Ellen was talking to herself, too.
He'll be gone today. He'll be gone today. He'll be gone today.
Oh, you too, eh?
Oh, I
Thought you liked him.
do, but Randy's sort of overpowering in a small place.
He'd be overpowering in the Grand Canyon. When does he leave?
On the afternoon plane.
Great. Say, that ought to call for a celebration.
It should.
I know. Let you and I have dinner out.
All by ourselves.
Yeah, we'll go to that nice little place.
Where we used to go?
All by ourselves. I'll pick you up about 6.
Mr. Craig, you wouldn't be making a date.
Ah, I certainly would.
Just think, it's the first time you've been this romantic since...
Hey, what are you doing with that alarm clock?
Just having a look. Somebody set it back 3 years.
Yeah, and I've got to toddle down to the office.
You're lucky. I have to stay here and explain that kitchen to Anna.
Oh, that goon cooking all over the place. With all the trouble the world's got, why did Randy have to happen to it?
Oh, I don't know. He has his uses.
Hmm?
Nothing, darling. I'll see you tonight, and you'd better be on time for our date. Hello?
Hello, Ellen. It's Jim.
Oh, darling, I'm all dressed and waiting. How soon will you be?
Well, I won't. You see, Fred insists that we finish this advertising layout tonight.
Oh, but Jim, we had a date. You can't call like this at the last moment and break it.
Honey, don't you understand? This is business.
Yes, and I know who put you up to it, too. Is Fred there now?
Well, yes. He's standing right beside me.
I might have known. You couldn't disappoint Fred, could you? No matter what happens to me.
Thank you, darling. I knew you'd understand.
I don't understand it all, and furthermore, I never will.
Yes, dear, yes. I'll give Fred your best.
As far as I'm concerned, you can give him poison.
Oh, don't worry, honey. I'll be home early.
I don't care what time you get home, and let me tell you something else.
Thank you, sweet. Bye.
Well, of all the... He hung up. Oh, just wait till he gets home. Just wait.
All set, Gretch?
Huh? Oh, Randy.
Yeah, well, isn't it about time I was leaving?
Leaving? No. No, I really don't think it is. Not quite yet.
It's pretty late, Jim. I really shouldn't be coming in with you.
Oh, forget it, Fred. Ellen will be glad to see you. She always waits up.
In the dark?
Ah, well, it's a little dark, isn't it? Let's have some light. Come on in.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Where do you think she is?
Oh, she probably got tired and went upstairs. Ellen! Ellen! Guess the poor kid's fast asleep.
Isn't that a note on the hall table?
Say, that's right. Out. Don't know when we'll be back. Ellen.
I guess the poor kid's wide awake.
Oh, this must be some kind of a joke. I'll bet she's hiding. That's what she's doing. Ellen, where are you? Come out, honey. Ollie, ollie, oxen free. Wherever you are.
Aren't you a little big for hide and seek?
Funny, I can't imagine where she might be.
Your, house guest still here?
Oh, no. We got rid of him this afternoon.
Well, I'm glad of that. You know, Jim, I don't like to say this to you.
Say what?
Well, I didn't like the way he was looking at Ellen. I've seen that look before. Lots of men used to look at lots of my wives that way. Lots of times.
Oh, that's nonsense, Fred. Why, Ellen was as anxious as I was to see Randy leave.
Did she tell you that?
Certainly.
That's what I thought.
Now, look here, Fred. You're all
Hold
right.
it. There goes the door.
Well, Junior, where have you been? Where's your mother?
Oh, hello, dear. Hello, Fred. How nice of you to sit up with Jim.
Ellen.
Oh, poor little tired Junior. All worn out from going to all those nightclubs.
Nightclubs? Ellen with whom?
Oh, hello there, Jimbo Bimbo. Yeah, you see, I took you at your word.
What word?
Well, Ellen said you wanted me to stay, and here I am.
I said when I explained I was afraid to stay alone, Randy was so happy to help you out, Jim, and stay till tomorrow.
Sure. Glad to do it for you, Jimbo. No trouble at all.
That's what you think. Oh, you know, Fred Stonebreaker.
Yeah. Oh, how are you, sir? It's a pleasure.
Naturally. Done a bit of it myself.
What Fred means is it, the phone.
Yeah, well, don't bother, Jimbo. It's right here at my elbow. Hello? Well, this is Randy Bloodworth speaking. Who? Oh, yes. Put him through, please. Well, what do you know? It's for me. Long distance from Los Angeles.
Is that so?
He really is a mighty lively little town.
Oh, it's terrific. You could... hello? Hello there, Tombo. No, I was flying out tomorrow, but
Flying tomorrow.
What?
Just keeping it.
Oh, you're leaving for San Francisco? Well. For how long?
Oh, don't tell me.
Oh, now, listen. Don't worry about me, Tombo, old boy. I can stay right on here.
Here, you can't.
Oh, what'd you say? Yeah, oh, sure, Tombo, you bet. Sure. I'll be seeing you one of these days. Oh, boy. Say, is this a break or is this a break?
It's a break.
A fracture.
Look, now we can really have some fun. And, kids, you know how we're going to start?
How?
I'm going to cook some Welsh rarebit a la Bloodworth right now.
The second act of the Lady Esther Screen Guild play will follow in a moment. Now, a word from Lady Esther.
I'm going to make a statement now which will probably shock every woman who is listening. Some of America's outstanding skin specialists have told me this. Here it is. Rubbing the skin of your face can make it look older, faster than it should. And here's the reason why, they tell me, and I agree. Because the skin of your face is fragile, the most delicate skin of your entire body. Rubbing can stretch and break down the delicate underskin structure, can make even a firm skin flabbier and older looking than your age. But with Lady Esther four-purpose face cream, there's no need for harmful rubbing. This famous cream is so soft, you just smooth it on gently, then wipe it off. That's all. It dissolves as it touches your skin, needs no help from your fingers. That's why you'll love the feel and the look of your skin after even one application of Lady Esther face cream. Without rubbing, Lady Esther four-purpose face cream cleans your skin, softens your skin, and helps nature refine the pores. And it also leaves a perfect base on which your powder clings longer and looks lovelier. Lady Esther four-purpose face cream asks no help from any other cream. You see, Lady Esther face cream contains one of the most beautifying ingredients known to modern science. This acts as an extra safeguard to help keep your skin soft, smooth, and young-looking. If you will try it, I'm very sure you will want to use Lady Esther four-purpose face cream always.
And now, Lady Esther presents the second act of Weekend for Three, starring Harry Von Zell, Lynn Berry, and Dennis O'Keefe.
Oh, I'll never know how we got through that next week. Out every night doing the town, and then home to some fancy cooking, a la Bloodworth. By Friday, I was walking on my ankles, and even Ellen was showing the strain.
Oh, dear, 4:45.
Seems to me it's always 4:45.
Unless it's 4:15. But I don't know why you're complaining. You don't have to dance with him.
Listen, I've been resting on so many bars, I feel like a dish of potato chips.
Jim, do you ever think he's going?
No.
I don't know what more we can do. You've talked so glowingly about Los Angeles and what a fool a person is not to be there, I almost want to go myself.
Yes, but not Randy.
No, not Randy.
Then when he wanted his laundry sent out, you told him it would take 2 weeks. What did he say?
He said, that's all right. I've got plenty of clean stuff. And remember when you told him it looked like we might have a scarlet fever epidemic?
Mm-hmm. Said he'd had it 3 times.
Jim, there must be some way to get rid of him. Other people's house guests leave.
Other people's houses burned down. Other people are caught in hurricanes. Other people live in earthquake country. Other people have all the luck.
What we need is a good idea.
If it's poison, I've already had it.
I mean, if we could think up some... Hey, wait a minute. I've got it.
What, DTs?
An idea. Listen, if we could send Anna home for a couple of days and tell Randy her grandmother had died or something...
Oh, so you think that'll work?
It's bound to work, Jim. Randy will realize he's an inconvenience. If we haven't got a cook or anything, he's sure to go.
Oh, you know, I think you're right. Listen, we'll go out to dinner, celebrate, just the two of us. Oh, Ellen, you're wonderful.
Oh, now, darling, I'm not wonderful at all. I'm just marvelous.
Ellen? Hey, Ellen, where are you? I'm home, honey.
Hello there, Jimbo. Say, I swing a mean vacuum, don't I? Well, what do you think of your new maid?
New maid? Oh, you don't mean that you're... Oh, no, not...
You don't think I'd leave my best friends in the lurch?
You leave... Well, to tell the truth,
Oh, listen, the minute Gretch said old Annie was going, I told her I'd be right in there pitching until Annie gets back.
Randy, it seems to me that I... Oh, hello, Jim.
Hello, dear.
Look at him, Gretch. I knocked him right off his pins.
Say, do I smell something burning?
Oh, it's the tapioca. I clean forgot I had it on the stove.
I'll get it, Randy.
No, now you stay here, Gretch. I don't want you out there in all that water.
What water?
Oh, the sink just got stopped up. I'll get the plumbers around in the morning.
Ellen, this is the end.
I know. He makes an atomic bomb seem so puny.
I mean it, Ellen. Either he goes or I go. One of us has got to get out, and Hey, that's it.
Darling, I know it's mean of me to ask, but won't you make a little sense?
Look, honey, suppose I go to Chicago.
Jim, you can't run out on me. I won't let
I don't mean really go. Just tell him I'm going. You know, fake it. Pack my bag, put on an act.
Darling, you're brilliant. Then he'd have to go. He couldn't expect to stay here with me all alone.
Well, I hope not.
Jim, I could kiss you. How soon can you leave?
Oh, I don't know. How soon can you pack my bag? Ellen, you really didn't have to pack my bag full. After all, it's just an act.
It's the artist in me. Besides, Randy might take a notion.
You! Hey, kids, you in there?
Yes, come on in, Randy.
Oh, Jimbo, listen, I've got the idea of my life. I'm going to Chicago with you.
Oh, Randy, no!
Well, certainly. Why not? It's right on my way to Los Angeles. I'll stop off and we'll do the town together.
Yeah, but...
Jimbo, we'll show them all.
Oh, but
no, now the word out of you.
But you don't...
Oh, I'm glad to do it.
Yeah,
Excuse me now, I have to finish my packing.
Oh, Jim.
All right, Brain Trust, what do we do now?
Jim, we can't let him know it was all a hoax. You'll just have to go.
To Chicago? Well, what'll I do in Chicago? I don't even like Chicago without Randy along.
Let me see. You've got to pretend to go away and really stay here. And Randy's got to really go away and... I know. Randy can stay here.
With me away? Say, what is this, Liberty Hall?
Oh, you won't really go to Chicago. You'll get a room at the Oldfield Inn. Then if I can get Randy to stay here, I'll sneak out tonight and join you there. It'll just be heaven to be alone for a while.
Say, that's an idea.
And tomorrow I'll think up some other way to really get Randy out of here.
Oh, it's getting better all the time. Yes, but how are you going to make Randy stay?
Well, I might try dropping a hat.
Oh, hello? Yes, operator, I'm still waiting. Yes, I know, operator, but there's got to be an answer. You see, it's my own home. I live there. Yeah. Oh, all right, I'll try again later.
Well, Jim, hello there.
Oh, hello, Fred. Sit down, have a drink.
I don't care if I do. Say, what are you doing in the grill alone?
I'm waiting for Ellen. She was supposed to be here at 10.
And it's 11 now? You know, if I were you, I'd go on home.
Oh, I can't go home. I'm in Chicago.
Really? How do you like the place?
Oh. Now, you see, I'm not really there. It's just a gag. Get rid of Randy.
Oh.
I'm just supposed to be in Chicago. But instead, I took a room here. Ellen's going to sneak out and join me. Great idea, huh?
Yes, indeed. And whose idea was it?
Oh, well, Ellen's really, but I told her.
Ellen's. Oh, still, that needn't mean anything, Jim. I suppose.
Well, of course it doesn't mean anything, Jim. Say, if you're thinking of Randy, why, she won't be alone with him 1 minute longer than she can help. Why, Ellen said to me, she told me herself, she said just when I left, she said, what time is it now?
Only 5 minutes after 11.
She said she'd be here by 10 for sure.
Now, Jim, there's no use getting ideas.
No.
After all, there might be some other explanation.
Might, huh? It's funny, though. The phone doesn't answer. I've tried it half a dozen times.
Well, maybe she didn't hear it, Jim. After all, there are times...
Excuse me, Fred. I've got to go.
Go where?
I'm going home.
But what about that room upstairs?
All the devil with my room.
Oh, now, don't say that. Look, I've got an important buyer in town, one of my biggest accounts, and she can't find a room for love or money. I was thinking if you didn't use that room...
Sure. She can have it, and thanks. Good night, Fred.
Hello? Oh, hello, Fred. Yes, I'm all settled in the room, bag and baggage. Honestly, it's sort of a miracle. Yes, will you tell Mr. Craig I'll never be able to thank him for... Oh, hold it, will you? There's someone at the door.
Jim, darling, when do you hear what I... Oh, I beg your pardon.
Not at all.
Isn't this Mr. Craig's room?
Yes, it is.
That's all I wanted to know. Good night.
Well, that's strange. Hello, Fred. No, nothing important. Just some girl looking for Mr. Craig.
Oh, just wait till she gets home. I'll tell her, all right. I'll tell them both off if they think they can get away with this kind of... front door. Must be them. Oh, got Junior with them, too. Spoiling him.
No, darling, please. I've had enough trouble tonight.
Trouble, she calls it.
Now, sweetheart, you hear me? Not upstairs.
Upstairs.
Not really, precious. Jim wouldn't like it.
It's an understatement if I ever heard one.
Come on, darling. Let's go on in the den and I'll...
All right, Ellen, the jig is up.
Jim.
Yes, and you needn't try to deny it either. Carrying on with that laughing clown. Not upstairs, darling. Jim wouldn't like it. Why, for 2 cents
You idiot. I was talking to Junior.
You were talking... Junior? Oh, yeah, but I thought that you...
How often have I told you not to think?
Well, often.
Besides... You've got to do some explaining first.
Explaining? Me?
That horrible woman in your room.
In my room? A woman? What?
I know. That was no woman. That was a...
Oh, you mean at the inn. She's one of Fred Stonebreaker's customers.
Jim Craig, if you try to tell me you were just in
Now,
conference...
hold it, Ellen. Wait a minute. You're away off. It's just that I decided to come home, and Fred had this out-of-town buyer who needed a room. Well, so I told him she could have mine.
Jim, is that the truth?
So help me, Chicago, Milwaukee, and St. Paul.
Oh, dear. And I thought... But why did you come home?
Yes. I was waiting for you to ask. Not that you should have to guess when you were playing around with a lout like that.
Did you say lout?
Yes, and that's as plain as I can talk.
Well, darling, you might ask me where Randy is.
I don't give a hang where. If you think that I'm going to... Say, that's right. Where is he?
Winging his way through space in a plane.
Oh, no. Well, that's a change. What made him go?
Well, darling, I don't want to boast.
You mean you? Oh, gosh. How did you do it, Ellen?
Well, the big oaf started getting romantic.
Huh?
You know the palaver. A tropic moon, a scented breeze, two hearts beating in ukulele time.
Yeah.
The only trouble was he was drinking zombies.
Zombies? What happened?
He convinced himself, bought a ticket, and took off.
Ellen, you don't mean it. He's really gone?
Uh-huh.
On his way to Los Angeles?
Jim, when I put somebody on the plane, I don't fool around.
You mean he isn't going to Los Angeles?
Of course not. He's going to Honolulu.
Thank you, Dennis O'Keefe, Harry Von Zell, and Lynn Barry for your delightful performances.
We're glad to be here, Mr. Bradley. We look forward to our appearances with the Lady Esther Screen Guild players because we know that the benefits from these programs go to the support of the Motion Picture Relief Fund and the wonderful work being done at the Country House. And now, before we tell you about next week's show, here's a word from America's best-known beauty authority, Lady Esther.
Thank you, Miss Barry. Ladies, I'm sure you would never think of rubbing cream into the delicate skin of your eyelid or beneath the eye, because if you did, the skin might be stretched and injured. It might become inflamed. Now, to some degree, the same thing that happens to your eyelid happens to your face, because the facial skin tissue is finer, more delicate than the rest of your body. And there's the rub. Using heavy, sticky cream that has to be rubbed in is not good treatment. Rubbing those fine, delicate skin structures is likely to make your skin look older than you are. And so it's clearly wiser to use a cream that requires no rubbing. Lady Esther 4-Purpose Face Cream. It's so soft, you need only smooth it on gently. Then wipe it off. That's all. The cream does the work, not your fingers. Yes, Lady Esther 4-Purpose Face Cream thoroughly cleans your skin without harmful rubbing. Softens your skin, helps nature refine the pores, and leaves a lovely smooth base for powder. It's the only cream you need, the modern scientific cream, which without rubbing does all 4 things your skin needs most for beauty. Try it. You will feel and you will see how quickly your skin responds to the gentle, beautifying touch of Lady Esther 4-Purpose Face Cream.
Next week, the Lady Esther Screen Guild players will present Waterloo Bridge. It will star Barbara Stanwyck, Isabel Jewell, and Robert Taylor. Be sure to listen. Weekend for Three was produced and directed by Bill Lawrence, adapted by Harry Cronman, and was presented through the courtesy of RKO Radio Pictures, producers of Alfred Hitchcock's Notorious, starring Ingrid Bergman and Cary Grant. Lynn Barry can soon be seen in the 20th Century Fox production, Home Sweet Homicide. Harry Von Zell can now be seen in the RKO production, Till the End of Time. Dennis O'Keefe can soon be seen in the Hunt Stromberg production, Dishonored Lady, co-starring with Hedy Lamarr. Music on tonight's program was arranged and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. This is Truman Bradley speaking for Lady Esther. Thank you and good night. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Good evening.
Tonight, Lady Esther, with a sense of deep privilege, presents the Screen Guild players in Robert E. Sherwood's beautiful play, Waterloo Bridge. It stars Barbara Stanwyck as Myra, Robert Taylor as Roy, and Isabel Jewell as Kitty. The Lady Esther Screen Guild players in Waterloo Bridge.
Waterloo Bridge, at night in the fog. The road almost smothered by the heavy mist, the overhead lamps almost blotted out. The jumbled noise of London almost stilled. I walk here often in the fog, alone, and yet not quite alone, for sometimes I can hear her voice.
I love you, Roy. I always have. I always will.
It was a long time ago, remember, Myra?
1917, in the spring.
I was going back to France the next day. I'd been home on leave, and I'd stopped on the bridge for one last look at London.
Yes, Kitty and I had noticed you standing there by the rail. In fact, I might have wondered about you, except that just then... Oh, Kitty, it's an air raid. What shall we do?
We'll run for it, naturally.
Where?
Better hurry, miss. The underground station.
Oh, thank you, Captain. I had no idea where...
This is no time for pretty speeches, Myra. Come on.
Kitty, wait. Wait for me. I'm coming. Oh, dear, this stupid bag of mine. The lock always opens.
You'll have to hurry, miss. Here, lipstick, powder, comb. I think that's all.
Oh, no, wait. My lucky charm. It must be here somewhere. Oh, here it is. I've got
You
it.
little fool, are you tired of living?
But I've had it for years. It brings me luck.
Like that?
Oh, dear. Oh, Captain, would it be very unmilitary to run?
I think I'm just about to find out. Come on. Warm in here, isn't it? The underground always is when there's a raid.
It's crowded when there isn't a raid.
Well, we might as well make the best of it. Cigarette?
No, thanks.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have offered it.
Why not?
Well, you're rather young. School, aren't you?
School.
Am I being funny?
Oh, look at that poster over there on the wall.
Madame Olga and her petite Russian ballet.
That's my school.
You don't mean you're a dancer?
Sometimes Madame Olga wonders.
You mean you can pirouette and all that sort of thing?
Certainly. I can do entre-chassis.
Again, please?
I can cross my feet 6 times in midair.
Really? I suppose that's good for the muscles of the... good for the muscles, huh? Makes them bulge like a strong man's.
Not necessarily. Don't you think my legs are nice?
Yes, of course, beautiful.
But we do have to train like athletes. Madame Olga believes in rigid discipline.
Sounds just like the Army.
Oh, I'm sure we have a lot in common. Are you home on leave?
Well, I have been. My home's in Scotland.
And now you're going back to France?
Tomorrow.
Oh, I'm sorry. This awful war...
I suppose it is. Yet there's excitement in it, too. The fascination of the unknown. What we're both facing at this instant.
We face the unknown in peacetime, too.
Yeah, in a way. You're rather matter of fact.
You're rather romantic.
There it is, the all clear. Roddy Yeoman's got out to his feet.
There's the all clear. Afraid it's over, miss.
Yes, I'm afraid it is.
Never enjoyed an air raid more. Shall we go now or wait for the next?
Well, it's tempting, but I have a performance tonight.
Well, then I'll get you a cab.
Thank you.
Think I'd better carry your bag?
Oh, no. I only drop it in emergencies.
Well, I hope I'm around the next time it happens.
Yes, that's not very likely, is it?
Why not? I'll arrange it with the War Office. Anything for morale, you know.
Oh, I do hope you get back safe and sound. Here, take this with you.
What's your good luck charm?
Please, maybe it will bring you good luck.
I can't. It means so much to you.
Oh, you need it more. Please, to humor me.
Really, it's wonderfully kind of you. If there were some way I could show my thanks, but...
Oh, it's very simple, Captain. Just get me a cab.
Myra, have you got your makeup off yet? Myra? Look, darling, you'd better come out of that dream. Madame Olga was furious about the way you danced tonight.
It's such a shame, Kitty.
I'll never see him again.
But didn't you notice how she was glaring?
And he was so attractive in his
You
uniform.
know, tomorrow she'll give us all a tongue
And he was
lashing.
charming, too. Not forward at all. And when he smiled, he seemed to...
Myra, for heaven's sakes, grow up. You met a man in a rage. You talked, you said goodbye. The chances are you'll never see him again.
Just a moment. Yes?
Chappie come to the stage door, miss. Left a note for you, he did.
For me? Oh, thanks.
Quite welcome, miss.
Well, don't just stand there, Myra. Let me in on it. Who's it from? Who sent you the note?
Kitty, he came back. He was at the performance.
Who?
The one I told you about, the captain. He wants me to meet him for late supper.
Oh, Myra, you can't. You know the rules. No boyfriends, no late hours, no rich foods. Where are you going to meet him, darling?
Oh, at the Candlelight Club.
It's nice here, don't you think? Do you like the place?
Oh, yes, very much.
Well, so much for that. Now then, what do dancers eat?
Oh, dull things mostly, nutritious, but non-fattening.
Not tonight. We'll pick something extra rich and indigestible.
Oh.
I know, grouse and chablis. Can a dancer drink a little light wine?
Well, tonight.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's what we'll have. You know, it's just a chance in a million, but I felt I had to see you again. Are you glad?
Yes,
With reservations?
I suppose.
Why?
Well, what's the good of it?
What good's anything? What good's living?
Well, that's a question, too.
You're a strange girl.
Isn't everything now with the war and all? Even the two of us, you and I, meeting like this.
That's just what I was going to say. If we'd met in ordinary times, in the ordinary way, we'd just about be telling each other what schools we went to. We're much farther along, don't you think?
Are we?
You know we are. Come on, let's dance. Wonderful dinner, wasn't it?
Wonderful.
May I propose a toast?
Of course.
To you. To us.
To us.
Yeah, I still don't get it, though, not quite.
Don't get what?
Well, this afternoon when I left you, I couldn't remember what you looked like. Not for the life of me. I thought, was she pretty? Was she ugly? What was she like? I had to go to the theater to find out.
And do you think you'll remember me now?
I think so. I think so for the rest of my life.
Closing time, ladies and gentlemen. The candlelight waltz.
Why, all the lights have gone out.
Yes, all but those candles at the orchestra stand.
And now they're putting those out, too.
One at a time until they're all out. The dance is over.
And then?
Well, sometimes, in the dark, if people like each other, they kiss.
Oh. Aren't you going to ask me to dance?
I'm glad we decided to walk. It made the evening last a little longer. Wonderful, wasn't it?
Yes. And I haven't thanked you yet.
Oh, please don't. When I come back, we'll go there again.
I hope we will.
That'll be our place. That's where we'll always recapture this evening. Do you think we'll ever see each other again?
I think it's doubtful, don't you?
Yes, I suppose it is. I hate for it to end this way. There's so many things I don't understand.
What?
About you. You're so young, so lovely, and so defeatist. I mean, you don't seem to expect much from life.
Well, don't you think I'm right? For example, I met you, I liked you, and now I shall probably never see you again.
Can you really conceive that? Our never seeing each other again?
Yes, I can. Well, this is where I live.
Nothing to do about it, is there?
Nothing. But to say goodbye.
Goodbye, Myra, dear.
Goodbye, Roy.
Keep well.
You too. Take care of yourself.
Oh, I don't have to worry. I've got your good luck charm. I'll carry it always. And
Myra.
Yes?
Myra, it's no good. It won't work. We can't fool ourselves. You'll have to marry me.
Oh, Roy, you're crazy.
I know. It's a marvelous
But
sensation.
Roy,
My outfit doesn't sail till noon. We can meet in the morning, St. Matthew's Church.
Please be sensible.
Not me.
But, Roy, you don't even know me.
I'll discover you. I'll spend the rest of my life doing it.
Darling, it's the war. It's just because you're leaving so soon, because you feel you've got to live your whole life in one day.
No, it isn't, Myra. It's you. It's you. It'll never be anyone else.
But
no quibbling now, no questioning, no doubts. You're going to marry me, and that's final, definite, affirmative. It's got... What's so funny?
Oh, Madame Olga, when she finds out...
Let me see now. Hat, gloves, kerchief. Oh, Kitty, what else does one wear at one's wedding?
A dress?
Oh, Kitty.
Oh, Myra, for heaven's sake, calm down. Try to get a little sleep.
Oh, I can't. I'm too excited and too happy, darling.
Well, then you might let me get some rest. Madame's ordered an extra rehearsal in the morning for 9 o'clock.
Oh, just because she was annoyed with me. I'm sorry. Oh, Kitty, will we be through in time? I've got to be at the church by 11.
Oh, you'll be there. She never keeps us over an hour.
I just couldn't let anything interfere with...
I love at 4 in the morning. Well, go on, answer it.
Hello? Oh, no, darling. I was still awake. What? Oh, no. Oh, but that's terrible. But can't they give you one more day? Oh, yes. Yes, of course, darling. I understand. Yes, I'll be there.
You'll be where? What's happened, Myra?
His orders have been changed. He's leaving early. I'm going to see him off at 9 o'clock.
At 9 o'clock? You have rehearsal.
I'm going to see him off.
Myra, darling, be sensible. If you go to see him off, you'll say goodbye and you'll come back to what? If you miss a rehearsal, you'll be sacked.
I promised him, Kitty. I'm going to see him off.
The second act of the Lady Esther Screen Guild play will follow in a moment. Now, a word from Lady Esther.
I don't know if you've already heard it or read about it, but this year brings my 30th anniversary. Yes, 1946 is Lady Esther's 30th anniversary year, and I'm going to celebrate it by doing something nice for you. I'm going to repeat what I did this spring. I'm going to offer again a real anniversary beauty dividend from me to you. When you see it, I think you'll agree. It's a truly unusual money-saving value. Your favorite store has it for you right now, my special 30th anniversary set. And this special set contains a giant-sized jar of Lady Esther four-purpose face cream, enough for months of the finest care you can give your skin. And also you get a boudoir-sized box of Lady Esther face powder in bridal pink, my fascinating new shade that's so flattering to skin of almost every coloring. The giant-sized jar of cream sells regularly for $1.38. The powder sells regularly for 55 cents. Both together represent a value of $1.93, and both are yours. This big $1.93 value is yours for only 98 cents plus tax. You actually save 95 cents. And that is certainly a double value offer too good to miss. Remember, it is Lady Esther four-purpose face cream you receive, plus the exciting new bridal pink shade of Lady Esther face powder, each the finest aid money can buy to keep your skin looking younger and so romantic. So make a note and don't let yourself forget it. Ask your favorite store for Lady Esther's 30th anniversary package, the big $1.93 value for 98 cents plus tax, on which you save 95 cents.
And now, Lady Esther presents the second act of Waterloo Bridge, starring Isabel Jewell, Barbara Stanwyck, and Robert Taylor.
Waterloo Bridge, lost in the fog. Big Ben tolling in the dark, and as I walk, I can still hear her voice that morning when she said goodbye.
You'll come back, darling. You've got to come back. because I love you, Roy. I always will.
Myra, that was a bad time for you, dear.
You were all that mattered then.
You never even told me that you'd skipped rehearsal.
I hadn't told Madame Olga either. That's why I was sacked. And then Kitty spoke up and told Madame off, and naturally, Madame sacked her, too. Oh, we were so confident at first going out to look for work, until we found there wasn't any work. No dancing jobs. No jobs of any sort for untrained hands. And as the months went by, things got worse and worse until...
Look, Myra, I know you won't like to hear me say this, but why don't you let Roy know?
That we're out of work?
That we're broke, flat broke, that we're living in a third-rate rooming house, eating out of tin.
Oh, Kitty, I couldn't. He'd worry.
All right, so he'd worry, but we wouldn't starve.
Oh, we won't starve. Nobody starves.
I mean, people who starve don't live to tell about it. Oh, Myra, I'm getting scared. I've never been scared before. I don't like it.
Darling. Oh, maybe it is selfish of me not to let Roy know, but I've got a stupid sort of pride about it. Let me wait a little while, Kitty, just a little while longer. Something must turn up.
Sure, the landlady after last month's rent.
Well, I'll handle her. Yes?
Miss Myra Lester?
I'm Miss Lester.
Package for you, Mum.
Oh, thank you.
Right.
Kitty, look, for me.
Something to eat, I hope.
Flowers. Now, who in the world could have... Oh, how lovely.
Roses. They must have cost £1 at least.
And a note from Roy. It's in his handwriting.
£1, enough to feed us for a week.
Listen, one of my men got leave, so I'm sending these through him. And with them, all my love.
Of course, we could sell those roses to a florist and buy ourselves a good meal. Oh, no, you'd never hear of that.
Kitty, guess what? His mother's coming here.
Here?
To London, and I'm to meet her next Thursday, that little tea shop off the Strand. Oh, Kitty, I told you something would happen. Don't you see, darling, this is it.
This table by the window is very nice. Are you alone, miss?
I'm expecting someone.
Can I bring you a cup of tea while you're waiting?
I don't think so.
Well, perhaps the afternoon paper, miss.
Thank you.
Great victory we had in the Cambrai sector.
Yes, I hear the Americans are moving up.
You know, one thing about victories I've never liked, miss.
What's that?
There's always that column on the front page with the black border.
Yes. He's killed in action. Oh, it's a very long one today.
Strange, isn't it, miss? They're just names to us.
Yes, just names. Second Lieutenant William Allen, Sergeant Roger Bevins, Jr.
Yet, to their dear ones, those very names...
Major Charles Carrington and Captain Roy... Captain Roy.
Oh, I say, miss. I am sorry. Gerald, some brandy. Honey, she's fainted.
I never knew how I managed to get home. Everything was blank for weeks. Those weeks when Kitty fought so hard and wouldn't let me die. And then slowly I got better and stronger. Slowly I began to think again. To think and wonder. Until that first night when I left our room. When I got back...
Oh, Myra, thank heaven. Well, you silly infant, where have you been in this rain? I've been worried about you. Myra, what's the matter?
How did your show go tonight?
Oh, same as usual. Come on now, let's pop you right into bed.
Have a good house?
So. Why?
I went to the theater. You weren't there. They said you weren't in the show.
Oh, well, I didn't want to worry you, Myra. You see, I'm in a different show. It's a cheaper sort.
No, you're not. You haven't got a job. You've never had one. How have we been living?
What difference does it make as long as we live?
Where has the money come from, Kitty? You've got to tell me. Where?
Oh, where do you think? I tried to keep it from you, but... Well, now you know.
You did it for me.
Well, I didn't. I'd have done it anyhow. C'est la guerre. No jobs, no boys who want to marry you. Only soldiers who want to kill a few hours with you because it may be their last.
You did it for me. To get me food and medicine. I'd sooner have died.
No, you wouldn't. You think so, but you wouldn't. You'd want to go on living just as I did. And why not? Why shouldn't we? We're both young. We're both... Oh, Myra. I suppose you think I'm dirt.
Oh, Kitty. Kitty, darling.
Nice evening, miss. Care for a bit of a stroll?
No, thanks.
On the lonely side, miss? Care for a little company?
No, I'm afraid not.
Nice bit of weather, miss. Like a little fan?
Why not? I think I might have killed myself then. Except that so much of me had already died. Died that afternoon when I'd found Roy's name in the casualty lists. And so the weeks dragged by, the months, a whole year. And suddenly the world went mad.
They've quit! The blooming hands have quit! They've signed the blooming armistice!
The armistice. It didn't mean much to me. Only more boys at Waterloo Station. More boys coming home, more boys to wink at, to smile at, to call to and say, "Welcome home, soldier. Welcome home. Hello, Sergeant."
Myra!
Hello, handsome. You think those French girls are
Myra!
Well, Captain, when did you... Roy.
Myra, it is you, isn't it? It's really you.
Roy.
Wait, let me look at you. I'm not dreaming, am I? I mean, to find you here like this waiting for me, why, it's a miracle.
You're alive.
Darling, if you knew I've waited for this moment, planned it all in my mind, and now you're here, and tell me, how did you know I was coming? Did you talk to Mother?
Oh, Roy.
Oh, no, darling, none of that. Chin up now. It's over, Myra. It's all over. We're together again.
You're alive.
Extravagantly.
But I read in the paper and
How
it
could
said
I die when you were waiting for me? I've been in prison camp best part of a year. That's why I couldn't write to you. I know Mother missed you when she came down. She tried to find you, but you'd moved. What happened? Did you get in touch with her?
No.
Then
No.
You didn't know I was coming?
No.
What are you doing at the station? Looking for a friend?
Yes.
Well, who is he, darling? I insist on knowing.
Oh, no one. A girl, nobody in particular.
I tell you, Myra, it's a miracle to run smack into you like this when you're waiting for nobody in particular. Come on, let's go have some tea. I've got 1,000 questions, darling. Are you still dancing? Have you got a job? Not that it matters because you're quitting at this instant. I'm not going to let you out of my sight, not until we're married, and until I've taken you up to Mother and...
Roy.
Darling, I'm sorry. You've been through a lot, haven't you?
Roy.
I wasn't there to help you. But I'll make it up to you, I promise. You'll never cry again except for happiness.
If I'd only known that you were alive, that you were in the world.
Come on, young lady. That's over and done with. Now then, I have a program. I'm a man of action. We'll be married at St. Matthew's in the morning, then take the afternoon train to Scotland. I'll telephone Mother that we're coming.
Roy, I can't.
Why not? Why, there isn't someone else.
No, there isn't anyone else.
You still love me? Say it. I want to hear you.
I love you, Roy. I always have. I always will.
Well, then that's all there is to it. Come along now. We'll have some tea, then telephone Mother and... No, wait a minute. First, I'm going to give you a present. Look.
Oh, my lucky charm.
Yes, darling. It's brought me through a lot. Now let's see what it can do for you.
Oh, Kitty, isn't it wonderful? He's alive and back, and he loves me, Kitty. He wants to marry me. Well, but Kitty, aren't you glad? Why don't you say something?
Myra, what can I say?
Oh, I know what you're thinking. I've been thinking, too. You think it would be dreadful of me, don't you?
Does he know?
No, not yet. But I'm going to tell him.
Well, I wouldn't unless his name is Galahad. And there aren't many Galahads around right now.
Oh, Kitty. You know what you said once. You wanted to live. I love him, Kitty. I'll make him happy. I'll spend my whole life making him happy. And he loves me too, Kitty. He's waited for me. He's come back to me. Oh, please, Kitty. Please, tell me I can go to him, please.
Oh, I wish I could, Myra. With all my heart, I wish I could.
Look here, cabby, I'm late now. A very important engagement. Can't you try to get through?
Don't think so, Captain. Looks like there's been some trouble up ahead there on the bridge.
Seems a shame. I rush back from France and get held up by a crowd on Waterloo Bridge.
I'm sure she'll wait, sir.
Well, she has so far, but...
Ought to get through in a minute now, sir. There comes the bobby now.
I wonder what it's all about. Say, Constable, what's the trouble?
Nasty thing, Governor. Very sad. Young girl threw herself in front of a cab. Killed herself. Just like that.
Oh, that's too bad.
Just going in to report it, I am. And you'd never believe what it was she had in her hand.
What?
It's enough to get you down, it is. Here. Look at it, Captain. A lucky charm.
That was a long time ago. A very long time. Still, I come back to Waterloo Bridge and walk here in the fog. Alone. And yet not quite alone, for sometimes I can hear her voice.
I love you, Roy. I always have. I always will.
Thank you. Thank you, Barbara Stanwyck, Isabel Jewell, and Robert Taylor, for a deeply moving story. Believe me, we shall all remember your performances for a long, long time.
Well, Mr. Bradley, we won't forget being here tonight either. An appearance with the Lady Esther Screen Guild Players is always one of the highlights of the year for us, because we all know the magnificent work being done by the Motion Picture Relief Fund and its country house. We know that work is made largely possible by these programs, and we consider it a privilege to share in it. And now, before we tell you about next week's program, here's a word from one of America's foremost beauty authorities, Lady Esther.
Thank you, Miss Stanwyck. Ladies, so many women wrote me they were unable to get one of my 30th anniversary sets last spring that I've decided to repeat my offer. Many waited too long and found their stores completely out of the sets. But this time, if you don't delay, I'm sure you can get one. This special combination set is my beauty dividend to you on my 30th anniversary. It gives you both Lady Esther face powder and Lady Esther four-purpose face cream at a saving of almost half. In my anniversary set, you receive the large-sized jar of Lady Esther four-purpose face cream, the size that regularly sells for $1.38. Also, you get the boudoir-size 55-cent box of Lady Esther Bridal Pink Face Powder. Together, the large jar of Lady Esther face cream and the Lady Esther face powder represent a value of $1.98. But my anniversary set gives you both for only 98 cents plus tax. In other words, you save 95 cents on these two basic beauty aids that are all you need to look your loveliest. Do go to your favorite store tomorrow and ask for the Lady Esther Anniversary Package. When you see what a great bargain it is, you'll want it as much as I want you to have it.
Next week, the Lady Esther Screen Guild Players will present Arrowsmith. It will star Jean Hersholt, Ann Baxter, and Gregory Peck. Be sure to listen. Waterloo Bridge was produced and directed by Bill Lawrence from Harry Cronman's adaptation and was presented by arrangement with Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, producers of Three Wise Fools starring Margaret O'Brien. Robert Taylor appeared through the courtesy of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, whose current release is the Technicolor musical Holiday in Mexico. Barbara Stanwyck can now be seen in the Hal Wallace production, The Strange Love of Martha Ivers. Isabel Jewell will soon be seen in the RKO radio production, Deadlier Than the Male. Music on tonight's program was arranged and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. This is Truman Bradley speaking for Lady Esther, saying thank you and good night. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild Players in Sinclair Lewis's famous story, Arrowsmith. It stars Jean Hersholt as Dr. Gottlieb, Barbara Britton as Leora, and Gregory Peck as Martin Arrowsmith. The Lady Esther Screen Guild Players in Arrowsmith.
What is it that makes a man into a scientist? Ah, my friends, that is a big question. Maybe you think it's a laboratory. Test tubes and burners and microscopes and slides. And maybe it's something else. A light that burns in the heart and shines in the eyes. Yes, like in his eyes. The first time he ever came to see me.
Dr. Gottlieb?
Well, speak up.
My name's Arrowsmith.
Arrowsmith?
Martin Arrowsmith. I'm just starting here in the medical school, and I thought I'd take my bacteriology with you this fall instead of waiting till the second year, if you don't mind.
But I do mind.
But I'm not going to be just an ordinary doctor.
No?
No, sir, I'm going to be a research scientist like you. Oh, not as great as you, of course, but I mean I'm not interested in just giving people pills. I'd rather find a cure for cancer.
Something so simple.
Well, I really mean I want to find out things for myself. I know how little I know, and I'm not afraid of hard work.
Ah, now you're talking more sensible. Listen, my boy. To be a scientist, that is born in a man, and in a very few men. Maybe it's born in you. But go first and be a medical student. Go learn the names of diseases. Go learn to work in the dissection room without being sick. Go get your MD after your name. Then come back to me.
Dr. Gottlieb's laboratory. Dr. Arrowsmith talking. Who? Oh, hello, Helen. Oh, when? Tonight? Oh, no, I wish I could, but I'm in something here up to my ears. Over my ears, as a matter of fact. Sure, some other time. Thanks.
A girl, Martin?
Oh, nobody important. She's giving a party. I've got all the party I need right here.
So? What is the trouble, Martin?
The bugs in that serum should have died, Dr. Gottlieb, but you can see for yourself they never felt better.
And how do you account for it?
There must be something wrong with the theories.
So simple, eh? Young man, suppose you were the chief, and your assistant attacked the established laws of science. What would you say?
Well, I don't know.
Well, maybe you're thinking, then you tell me.
Look, here are my notes. I've gone over and over them, and I get the same results every time. I'm only telling you what I observe.
And that is all you can say?
That's all.
Then maybe I say something. Martin, my boy, I give you my blessing. Always observe what you observe. And if that does violence to the nice, correct views of science, out they go. Now, do we understand each other?
We sure do. Oh, a nurse. I want to find Ward D.
Do you?
Can you direct me?
I suppose I could.
Well, if it isn't interrupting your work.
Scrubbing floors isn't my work. The superintendent just caught me smoking.
I believe the first duty of a nurse is to stand when a doctor speaks to her.
Oh. I'm sorry, Doctor.
As it happens, I'm Dr. Gottlieb's assistant. On my way to Ward D to take a strain of a very dangerous microbe. When I've done that, I'll have to report you and... Whoops!
Oh, you slipped. My fault.
Say, what's your name?
What's yours?
Look here. You're not reporting me, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry. You see, scrubbing floors always makes me rebellious, and being rebellious makes me fresh, and when I'm fresh, well, there you are. My name's Leora Tozier. Silly, isn't it?
Why? I sort of like it.
You do?
I'll make my final decision at dinner. What time can you get away?
Me?
Well, it might be more fun to feed you than report you. Meet you out front?
I don't know.
What time?
Well, take it easy. The superintendent.
Oh. You'll phone me in the patient's condition every hour, nurse, and I'll look in again, shall we say, at 7? Leora, how many times have we had dinner here?
I wouldn't know. I've lost track.
Well, there's no wonder I always talk so much.
Have I ever said I was bored?
No, but I get so darn technical.
I like it. It makes me feel intelligent.
Well, you might as well get used to my ideas.
Why?
Well, you're going to marry me.
You don't say.
Oh, yes, I do.
Well, now, I wouldn't wonder but that you're right. Of course, you're pretty self-centered, Martin, and pig-headed, too, but then again, I like you. I like you a lot. Have you got a nickel?
Nickel? What for?
I want soft music. Thanks.
Lee, I wasn't being funny.
I didn't think you were.
Lee, darling, my love forever.
I hope you mean that, Martin, because I warn you, I'm never going to give you up.
From now until the end? Holy smoke.
What's the matter?
Gottlieb, he wanted to see me. I'm sorry, darling, I've got to run.
Martin, I sent for you to tell you that I'm leaving this place where I teach young doctors how to kill the patients.
You're leaving?
Yes, I have been called to the McGurk Institute in New York, where I will do only my own research.
The McGurk Institute? Dr. Gottlieb, that's wonderful.
I'm very happy, and for you too, Martin.
For me?
I have arranged to take you with me as my assistant. That is good, yes? No?
Well, Dr. Gottlieb, you're the greatest man I've ever known. I'd black your shoes if you'd asked me to, but, well, I can't go to New York with you.
Oh, I'm not taking you for a bootblack, Martin. Why can't you come?
I'm getting married. And you can't live on what a lab assistant makes. I'll have to go into practice after all.
Practice? Give pills to old ladies, hold their hands, make up their diets? You could be a scientist.
Well, I'm sorry, sir, but that's how it is.
You think you'll get rich, huh? But I tell you, Martin, you will starve. It is not so easy to start practicing.
Well, Leora's family's going to help. We're going back to her town, a little place in South Dakota.
It's useless to argue with a man in love. Martin, you will be a bad doctor for a while. Then you will come back to the laboratory. Let me know when you do, and I will have a place for you. Good luck, my boy. I wish you happiness.
Have some coffee, darling?
Please.
Bacon? Eggs?
I don't think I could. Martin, sometimes I get so frightened.
Oh, there's nothing to get scared about, darling. Good babies always make their mothers a little sick. A few more months and you'll have them in your arms. That'll make up for a lot.
What about you?
Oh, I'm doing fine.
You know what I mean. Being stuck in a little place like this. Being a country doctor.
Well, what's wrong with that? Making the young folks get married when they ought to? Staying married when they don't want to? Lecturing the big boys on the evils of drink and stealing your own drinks when the shade's pulled down? Seeing that the milk is pure and the meat's fresh and the backyards are tidy, that's quite a career.
You don't fool me, darling. 2 years ago, you had such great dreams. You were going to save humanity. Now you'll be tied down worse than ever.
Well, what do you mean, tied down? I don't have to run off to Africa to save mankind, do I? There's plenty of mankind right around here. And we'll see the world yet. And take the boy with us. Well, even if the boy's a girl.
You in there, Doc? You home?
That sounds like Henry Novak. Come in, Henry. Come in. Sit down. Have some breakfast?
I'm sorry you can't, Doc. I got some trouble.
Now, what now? Your wife catch her hand in the clothes wringer? Your boy run a rusty nail in his foot? Little girl got a tooth that's got to come out?
No, it's worse than that, Doc. My cattle's sick.
What?
Well, I hate to bother you, Doc, but that state vet ain't worth 2 hoots, and half my cattle's dead already. I was hoping maybe you might take a look and,
Sure, I know. Well, Lee, if I can't save mankind, at least I can try to save Henry's cows. Leora, Lee, where are you, darling?
Martin, what in the world?
Come in the kitchen. You'll have to help me set it up.
Set it up? What for?
Research, baby, research.
Here?
You thought this was a kitchen, didn't you? Sure, it used to be a kitchen. It'll be a kitchen again, maybe, in a couple of weeks.
But, dear...
Gottlieb used to say that any man who really wants to find out things can make a lab out of toothpicks and a piece of string. Get that, will you, sweet?
Hello? Oh, yes, Mrs. Bull. Just a moment, please. Martin, it's Mrs. Bull. Her back is worse.
Well, tell her to go out and hoe potatoes. I'm busy.
Martin, don't you think you ought to eat some supper?
I can't do it now, honey. It'll wait.
But, darling, it's after 3 in the morning.
Yeah, I know. I'll be quitting soon.
No sleep for a week. Not a single hot meal because you're using the stove. Martin, how long do you expect to...
Lee. Leora, I was right. That serum isn't any good.
Yes, Martin.
The stuff doesn't even make a dent in those bugs.
Yes, Martin.
Now, the problem is to find out what will.
I tell you, I don't care what he says. I'm the state veterinarian. He's got no right to horn in. But I asked him to. My cows were dying. When he put that stuff in them, they started to get well. Nobody could have done more than that. Why, he's been down there in the barn all day today.
Makes no difference to me. You tell him he'd better stay out of my way or I'll give him something he won't like.
Hello, Henry.
Hey.
Well, how are you, Doc? I've got something to show you that may interest you.
Nothing you've got to show me could interest me.
Well, you know best, but I wanted to give you some of my serum.
I've been telling him, Doctor, you turned out to be a pretty good vet.
Oh, the best in town. But I'm back on the bellyaches now.
That's where you belong.
Oh, wait a second. I'm a scientist. When I see a scientist's job I can do, I do it. That's what science is. And if you don't want that serum from me, don't take it from me. Take it from the government. I've sent my reports on to Washington. Now then, what were you going to give me, mister?
Why, you wild...
Why, golly, Doc.
That's science, too.
Hey, Doc Arrowsmith.
Right here, Jim. What's up?
Gee, Doc, they've been looking for you everywhere.
Who?
Everybody, over to your house. They said if I found you that...
Yes?
Sorry, Doc, but your wife's pretty sick.
Oh, it's you, Doctor. You'll have to be quiet, please.
What? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Hesselink of Leopolis. They called me in when they couldn't locate you.
Called you in? What for? Not the baby. It wasn't time.
You mustn't blame yourself. You couldn't possibly have foreseen it.
What? Leora. What about her?
Martin, is that you?
Excuse me, Doctor.
Martin?
Lee, I'll never forgive myself for leaving you.
It's not so bad. But the doctor says I can't have a baby, so I'll have to bring you up. Make a great man of you that everyone will wonder at. Like your precious Dr. Gottlieb. Don't feel badly, Martin.
Lee, I've never made many promises to you. I'm going to make one now. I'll never leave you alone again.
The second act of the Lady Esther Screen Guild play will follow in a moment. Now, a word from Lady Esther.
Now you're going to hear the unusual, a woman confessing a birthday. Yes, this year marks Lady Esther's 30th anniversary, and in this sense, my birthday. But I'm going to reverse the usual order of things. I'm going to make you a present. As I did this spring, I am again declaring a beauty dividend, a special anniversary set of Lady Esther Four-Purpose Face Cream and Lady Esther Face Powder, the essential beauty aids that help you look years younger, fresher, more attractive. In my special 30th anniversary set, I offer you my large $1.38 jar of Lady Esther four-purpose face cream and the 55-cent box of my exciting new bridal pink face powder. Altogether, this is a value of $1.93, but I offer it to you for only 98 cents plus tax. This means you save 95 cents. I'm so sure you'll want to take advantage of it that I've arranged to have my beauty dividend package ready and waiting at your favorite store right now. Especially if you have not yet tried Lady Esther four-purpose face cream and my exciting new bridal pink shade of Lady Esther face powder, this is a real opportunity to find out how surely these basic beauty aids help make your skin look years younger and fresher. I urge you, for your own attractiveness and charm, go to your favorite store tomorrow, get your Lady Esther anniversary package, and benefit by it at once. And please remember, you save 95 cents.
And now, Lady Esther presents the second act of Arrowsmith, starring Barbara Britton as Leora, Gregory Peck as Martin, and Jean Hersholt as Dr. Gottlieb, who continues our story.
Maybe you begin to understand it now, what makes a man into a scientist. The light that burns in the heart and shines in the eyes. Like Martin when he came to me in New York.
Dr. Gottlieb, you mean this lab is mine? This is where I'm going to work?
You have earned it, Martin. That was a good piece of work you did with those cows.
But a place like this, holy smoke.
That all you can say? Holy smoke?
It's funny, I almost feel like I want to pray.
To pray?
Oh, nothing I ever saw in a prayer book. God, give me clear eyes and freedom from haste. God, keep me looking for my own mistakes. God, keep me at it till I prove my results. God, give me strength not to trust to God.
I have faith in you, Martin. You will succeed. You sent for me, Dr. Tops?
Yes, Dr. Gottlieb. Won't you sit down? I've been wanting to talk to you about young Arrowsmith. How long has he been with us now?
About a year and a half. Does it make any difference?
Well, frankly, his work has been rather disappointing to me.
Well, science is slow, Dr. Tops. Most great discoveries are accidents.
Quite so, quite so. But still, you must realize, as head of the Institute, I must show results. After all...
Dr. Tops, believe me, Martin does not need you to tell him that he has failed so far. But I think he's on the track of something now.
Really? How do you know?
Because he has told me nothing. But these last few weeks, he's been working day and night. Even his wife complains that she can hardly see him. When the proper time comes,
Dr. Gottlieb.
Well, Martin, what is it?
I've been working, Chief. 36 hours, 40 hours, 2 weeks, I don't know. I got some notes for you. We should look at them. I think maybe I've got hold of something.
What is it, Arrowsmith?
Don't ask me. All I can tell you is that it's murder on the bugs. Dissolves them. Eats them up. Slaughters them.
My boy, you're exhausted. Here, sit down.
That's all right, Dr. Tubbs. I just need some sleep, food. Need a drink, I guess. I'm all in.
Martin.
Did you read the notes, Chief? What do you think?
You have a big thing here, Martin. Now you must find out what it is. Yes. Now you will be ready to begin to work.
Morning, baby.
Martin, what are you doing up?
Oh, I've got to get back to the lab.
But you promised you'd stay in bed at least 12 hours.
Oh, what's the use? I couldn't sleep.
Martin, I won't have any more of this. I'm not going to watch you kill yourself. I'll walk out on you. I mean it, Martin.
Now, Lee, you must never say that, no matter how mad you get. Just you wait till I finish this job. I'll take time off every day. We'll go to the movies. We'll have friends in. I'll even learn to play bridge. Now, how about some coffee?
Martin Arrowsmith, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. I don't want to go to the movies. I don't want to play bridge. All I want is for you to take care of yourself. Martin, what's the matter?
Look at this paper. The front page. Look at it.
Greatest medical discovery of modern times. Young scientist at McGurk Institute wipes out all disease.
Dr. Tubbs announced last night that Dr. Martin Arrowsmith... Where's my hat?
Martin, what are you going to do?
That cheap publicity hound, that faker. I'm going to tell him where to get off.
Now, Arrowsmith, you shouldn't take it so seriously. After all, we can't let anyone steal a march on us. A slight overstatement to catch the public eye.
A slight overstatement? You told him I can wipe out all disease, and you know I haven't even cured whooping cough yet.
Oh, I understand your surprise, my dear chap, but you see...
I'm just surprised that I don't twist your fat neck, making my name smell all over the country, branding me as a quack, a faker, a racketeer. Well, I don't want any part of it. I'm through. I quit.
Sorry, Martin. I don't accept your resignation. In fact, I have great plans for you. Of course, you'll have an increase and...
Dr. Tubbs.
Dr. Gottlieb, we're busy just now.
Yes, turning my young friend into a megaphone.
Oh, don't worry, Chief.
I've come here because I just found something in this magazine. Something perhaps not altogether bad. It seems Martin is not the pioneer we thought.
You mean someone has stolen a march on us?
The Pasteur Institute of Paris has just published this report. It is the same thing, Dr. Tubbs. You got into the newspapers too soon.
Well, Chief, I guess that's that.
Not altogether, my boy. You may not be the discoverer, but you may be the man to test it out. Come, let us go to my laboratory. We can discuss it there.
But Dr. Gottlieb, I don't know anything about bubonic plague.
Well, Terry Wiggett does. He will go along. He'll be a great help to you, Martin.
Oh, gosh, the West Indies seems a long ways off.
If the plague is not controlled, it's across the street.
That's true. Okay. I'll go.
Good. Only one thing, Martin. Can you be trusted to be a real scientist?
Well, I've always tried.
I mean, if this stuff of yours is any good, there's only one way we can make sure. To give the injections to only half your patients. Make the other half go without.
Well, you mean sit by and watch half of them die? That wouldn't be human.
Oh, yeah. So you're still a two-penny doctor after all.
No, but I do have feelings. I've got a heart.
Listen, Martin. So many men are good and kind. But so few men ever add to human knowledge.
Yes, I know, but gosh...
I'm an old man, Martin. I count on you to carry on for me. Martin?
Okay, Chief. I'll do my best. Leora, Lee.
Yes, Martin, what happened? Any luck?
Good and bad. The governor wouldn't play ball at all, and I wouldn't yield. I told him we'd do it my way, half get the serum and half go without, and nobody gets a chance at it.
And then?
Oh, a lot of talk, huff, huff. And we compromise. I'm going to try it first some other place. Island of Carib, all native, plague raging, almost ideal conditions. I'll have to rush.
You're going now?
As soon as you can get me packed, Terry's out rounding up a squad of rat catchers. Put his things in, too, and...
Martin. Martin, are you planning to leave me here?
Oh, Lee, sweet, I've got to.
But I didn't come along to be left here, Martin.
Well, I know, dear, but this time you've got to.
I won't be left here alone.
Lee, darling, you're not afraid.
Certainly I'm afraid. I'm scared blue. But that isn't the point.
Lee.
You're the point. I came down here to look after you. And how can I look after you if you leave me here?
Well, I'll be all right.
How do I know? It might get you, and if it did, nobody but me could nurse you. And anyway, I'd go mad not being with you. I mean it, I'd go mad.
Oh, darling.
Don't you see, I haven't any life outside of you. You're me and I'm you, and I've got to be with you. You can't leave me behind.
But, Lee...
You promised me once you'd never leave me. You promised.
Lee, you've got to be reasonable, sweet. I don't know what we'll get into out there. It can't be any place for a woman. Why, if I'd known what it would be like even here, I'd have choked you before I'd let you come.
You did everything but that to stop me. All right, Martin. But darn being a woman.
Now, then that's more like my girl.
Get your things, darling. I'll pack your bag.
August 28th. We've been here 5 days now. All the inoculations have been made. Serum to one group, plain water to the other. If my serum works...
Martin.
Oh, hello, Terry. Come in.
Martin, I've just come from the plantation house. They have a telephone there.
Dr. Tubbs been phoning for a story?
No. Now, there was a call from Blackport. For you.
For me? From Leora?
Martin, it isn't easy to tell you.
Tell me what? What are you trying to say? Terry! Is it Leora? Who is it? You'll have to take over, Terry. I'm going back to her.
It's no use, Martin. She died this morning.
Well, Martin, you're back?
Was that all you're going to say to me?
What else is there to say?
Lots. Why don't you tell me how I bungled it? Got drunk, quit. Why don't you lay me out?
What good would that do?
You gave me everything you knew of truth, and then you gave me my chance, and, well, I betrayed you. I had no excuse, perhaps. Well, there's no answer. There's no reason for me to...
Martin.
Yes, Chief.
Martin, I must tell you something. I'm no longer your chief.
You're not?
No, I have resigned from the Institute and from Dr. Tubbs. I have a little place in Vermont. I will do my work there. Not quite so elaborate as this, but I will be free. And I was thinking...
Oh, there you are, Arrowsmith. Been looking all over for you. I want you to give the press the good news yourself.
What good news, Dr. Tubbs?
Your new appointment. Yes, in view of your wonderful work with the plague and, considering Dr. Gottlieb's retirement, I've decided to...
Dr. Gottlieb, isn't it time for us to go?
Go? Go where?
I don't think you'd understand. The chief and I are going up to Vermont.
Vermont?
Yes, we're going to prove something we've believed a long time. That if you really want to find out things, you can build a laboratory out of toothpicks.
Yes, Martin. And a bit of string.
Thank you, Gregory Peck and Gene Hersholt, for an absorbing performance. And our special thanks to you, Barbara Britton, for stepping in at the last moment when Ann Baxter was taken ill.
Oh, Mr. Bradley, I'm sure Anne would have been here if she could. We know how much this radio program contributes to the Motion Picture Relief Fund and its country house, and we all feel it's a great privilege to share in that work. And now, before we tell you about next week's show, here's a word from one of America's best-known beauty authorities, Lady Esther.
Thank you, Miss Britton. Ladies, I hope you've already made a note of my special 30th anniversary beauty dividend. But if you have not, do be sure to jot it down now. For my Lady Esther anniversary set is now being featured at your favorite store, and it offers you a marvelous value. It's my way of including you in celebrating Lady Esther's 30th anniversary year. I've endeavored to make this an exceptional value for your money, and I'm sure you'll agree I've succeeded. Because my anniversary set contains a large-sized jar of Lady Esther four-purpose face cream, the size that usually sells for $1.38, and also a 55-cent box of Lady Esther face powder, Bridal Pink, my flattering new shade, so flattering to almost every type of skin. Together, this represents a regular value of $1.93, but I've arranged to give you both in my anniversary set for only 98 cents plus tax. That's a big saving. You actually save 95 cents. And you provide yourself a generous supply of Lady Esther face powder and Lady Esther face cream, your two most essential beauty aids to help make your skin look smoother, fresher, and younger at once. And you get this at a saving of almost exactly half. So do get your Lady Esther anniversary set at your favorite store now.
Next week, the Lady Esther Screen Guild Players will present Susan and God. It will star Betty Davis and Walter Pidgeon. Be sure to listen. Arrowsmith was produced and directed by Bill Lawrence from Harry Cronman's adaptation and was presented by arrangement with Samuel Goldwyn, who produced the photoplay and whose Technicolor production now being seen is The Kid from Brooklyn, starring Danny Kaye. Gregory Peck can soon be seen in Metro-Goldwyn Mayer's Technicolor production, The Yearling. Barbara Britton will soon be seen co-starring in the Columbia picture, The Return of Monte Cristo. Jean Hersholt is the star of the Dr. Christian radio program. You save enough on the largest size jar of Lady Esther face cream to buy a box of Lady Esther face powder. So remember, ask for the largest size. Music on tonight's program was arranged and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. This is Truman Bradley speaking for Lady Esther. Thank you, and good night. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.